What's up, everybody? Happy Monday morning. This episode is for the person who does have an incredibly strong reputation. Look, it is not easy to build a consistent, strong reputation in this world with social media and how easy it is for people to pinpoint or snapshot one piece of content or one photo or one thing or one conversation, and like they can really build an entire perspective around you in that one thing. But this is something that I've learned over the last, we'll say 5 or 6 years, specifically since like WinRate became, but even before WinRate, this is something that I felt like I was really good at, and it's being the same person in every room no matter what. People comment a lot that like I sound the same, look the same, operate the same as I do on the podcast or on coaching calls or YouTube videos that I am in person. And that creates this consistency that reconfirms what they heard about me or thought about me or believed about me, because there's so many online personalities, from the news to actors to high profile people to just the friends next door and the people you hang out with, who have an online persona and then like the real persona, right? It's like the couple that posts about how happy their marriage is all the time, and then behind scenes they cuss each other out all the time and they're never happy and they sleep in different rooms, and you're like, that's not the same people. And so I challenge you that in order to maintain a very, very high consistent reputation, is you have to strive to prove the reputation correct. And that doesn't mean that you're faking it or pretending or posing. It's more of a commitment to a standard that you can hold everywhere. Because when you show up inconsistent, when you are on time sometimes, late other times, when you are put together well sometimes, not, and sometimes you're preaching about being sober, and then the next time they see you that you're drunk. It's sometimes you deliver well from stage and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you put out consistent content and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you run meetings effectively, sometimes you don't. And that doesn't mean that you can't have bad moments. It doesn't mean you can't fail. But when I mean like don't, I mean like you go from one extreme to the other. Right? If you've ever worked for a bad leader or been around a bad leader, it's the person who is completely hypocritical. They're cussing you out or they're coming down hard on you in one meeting about something, and then they'll go do the same thing that they were upset with you about. That's what I mean. It's like wild opposites. It's like two separate types of people. Not sometimes the message wasn't as strong or this piece of content wasn't. It's like the effort. It's how you show up. It's how you prepare. It's how you present. It's how honest and open and vulnerable and authentic you are. You can control those things. Like I can control. Like one of my I am statements is I am one of the most vulnerable and authentic people I know. And like, is there a dichotomy of that? Yeah. Sometimes that gets me, in trouble. Sometimes it doesn't go as well. Sometimes I overshare things with customers or employees. But like, I have won so much more because of that. I will take this. Sometimes it doesn't. But you know what you're going to get with me. When people want the real answer, when people want the truth, you call Mike Claudio. He's going to tell you the truth. You're going to hear the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. So don't call me if you don't want the truth. And people who really want the truth, now call me. That's why they pay me what they pay me. That's why they come back year after year. I mean, I have clients going into their 3rd, 4th year of coaching with me because of that simple factor. When they call me, they get a thoughtful, empathetic, objective, unemotional perspective that they can take action with. That's powerful. But I see so many people show up inconsistently, where you walk into a room that you had a very strong reputation in, but then you don't show up that matches the reputation. Again, this can be misconstrued as like, I want to do things for other people, or like fake it until you make it, or pretend to be something you're not. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't ever underperform your standard. And if you can do that, you are going to build consistency. I mean, I talked about in previous episodes around, I'll use RoofCon because it's the most recent experience, where like people just thought they were entitled to my time. When I said no, because I was busy focusing on something else or walking from one point to another, getting ready for my keynote speech, they were like upset with me. And like the amount of ignorance and selfishness that goes into somebody feeling because they saw me at an event that they're entitled to my time and energy, they might think I'm an asshole. But cool, you know what everybody else knows? If I tell you I'm going to be somewhere, I'm going to be there. You can't do both. You can't be both. When people know, if Mike says that he's going to be here at this time and he's going to be ready to do this, you can count on that. You know why? Because I don't make time for the disruptions. I don't make time for the interruptions. I don't make time for people who are not part of that specific deliverable. But the people who are relying on me, they can count on me 100%. They know I'm going to show up. So I challenge you, if you are somebody who has built a very strong reputation in your audience or your ecosystem or your marketplace, to get hyper-focused on making sure you show up consistently. Because it'll do two things. It'll make you proud, for one, but it'll help people who have heard things about you or believe things about you to confirm that their belief about you was right. Because the reality is, and this is something my dad said when I was a kid, it only takes one shit to kill 100 attaboys. And like one time you really fuck something up, it can destroy a lot of consistency that you had. And so maybe that's not fair, maybe that's not real, maybe that's not what you deal with in your ecosystem, but I promise you I've seen it. And yes, I might piss off somebody that just trying to interrupt me, and if they take that personally, my opinion is that's a them problem. I have a commitment to be over here doing this thing to the best of my ability. Allowing disruptions and interruptions is not part of my ability to do this. That person who I committed to is going to get the best version of me. This person who's just trying to interrupt me or hop in my DMs or just beg for my time or ask for my time or feel entitled to my time, I don't owe them anything. But if that person had earned the right and done it the right way and got my time, I'm going to be on time for that call 100% of the time. It's been years since I've been late to a call or a meeting. Years. I mean, I physically can't even tell you the last time I was late to anything. It's just not what I do. And so people who I do proactively communicate those expectations to, they can count on that. So don't become the person who is sometimes on time. Don't become the person who is sometimes honest. Don't become the person who is sometimes sober. Like, you know the difference. Like, go have a couple of drinks, but like, don't get obliterated. Be consistent. Be the person that people hope you're going to be. Because people are dying and begging and hoping to find some people they can count on. Be one of those people. Because when you're the person that people can count on, you're somebody that people will conspire to help. Use that this week. Go figure out what your standard is and refuse to underdeliver on that ever again so that you can win fast and win often.